Hi, I'm Scott.
And I'm Michele, and we are the owners of the Main Street Mouse.
And this is the Main Street Mouse Weekly Podcast, show number 215 for January 19th, 2026.
For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram is moving. And supervise your children.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Dead men tell no tale.
I know not who you are, nor how I came to find you, but may I just say, aye.
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Hello, everybody.
Happy Monday.
It's a Monday.
It sure is. It really feels like a Monday.
It's a cold Monday.
It is a cold Monday. It has been cold here in Central Florida. I don't know if any of you have seen, but Northern Florida actually got snow. And was it Deltona Beach actually had snow all over it.
Oh, wow.
And the Florida welcome signs in certain northern areas had snow on them.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. So we had a freeze advisory here this morning, and when we got up, it was around 40 or so. But it's weird because our weather here is why people get sick.
Yeah, and we're still under a weather advisory till 1 a.m. tonight.
Are we?
Yeah, because it's still supposed to get down in the 30s again, which I know there's people up north going, 30.
But it's different here.
Our blood's thinner.
Yeah, and it feels cold. But anyway, the weather is like up and down. So like we have cold. We'll have like 70 something pushing 80, and then it drops. The bottom drops out again, and then we're cold. And that looks like what's coming in the next week. So if you are planning on coming to Central Florida, yeah, you might want to bring a jacket
And shorts.
and shorts for that one day that it gets warm. But it gets so cold here at night, and then when you get up in the morning, it's cold.
Yeah, until the sun comes up, it's pretty cold.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in my winter jacket in our office recording because the sun started going down, and for some reason, and this was up north too, when it started to get dark out in winter months, you felt like a cool chill like on the floor.
Well, yeah, you take the sun, you take that out of the equation, and the heat just disappears.
Yeah, you can feel it like cold, almost like a ghost, like flowing through your living room.
But we're known as the Sunshine State, and
Yeah.
it's not sunshine right now.
Well, the sun was out earlier today.
I need to write a letter.
The sun was out earlier today. It was just cold, but yeah. So Florida winters are so much better than up north, and I got a video today from my friend Paula again of showing her back deck with snow.
Aw.
And I also saw something on the news today or earlier today that somewhere in Michigan, it wasn't around us, I don't think, but it was there was like 100-car pileup of snow.
Jeez.
So like the freeway looked like a parking lot. Now I can't say for sure, but I don't think anybody got hurt. It was just one big mess of inconvenience.
Oh yeah, one slides into another, and then before you know it.
And there was like trucks that tried to stop, but are like across the freeway,
Right.
and yeah, it was just a big old mess up there. And what's weird is that's like the second time a big pileup that has happened like that up in Michigan in like the past, I don't know, month or so.
Yeah, if not less than. Yeah, because it was right after Christmas, after we'd left, actually.
Yeah, but when I go home for Christmas and I want a little Christmas snow, it didn't happen. Just saying.
Excuse me, there was a little bit of snow on your parents'
On my parents' lawn, and it was
4-inch diameter.
residual snow from the previous week. So yeah, we got totally. I don't know. I'm not happy about it, but so now that it keeps snowing in Michigan, everybody keeps sending me photos and such that it's snowing now, but doesn't do me any good.
Well, next time you need to specify a little bit of snow as far as how little, because you got like 4 inches total of snow in one pile.
In one pile. And I made sure to get a picture of this little tiny pile of snow with my parents' Christmas lights in the back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't even glistening because it wasn't even that big of a
No, it
piece.
wasn't that
Yeah,
big.
it wasn't that big of a piece. But I made sure to like bend, like scrunch down and see if I could get like the Christmas lights behind the snow. And that's as far as I got this year. He's shaking his head at me right now. But it's just like, it's one of the, everybody has things they love. And I love snow at Christmas time.
I'm good without it.
I know you are.
I am. I don't like to not be able to wear shorts.
I know. You're ridiculous with your shorts.
You know, Friday destroyed me here. Because I had to cover a media event, I had to wear pants. Long pants. I don't like wearing long pants.
But it was like 30-some degrees. And
I know.
And he wanted to leave with shorts. And I told him, I said, please, for the love of God, put pants on.
I put pants on, then I got sick. Figure that one out. See, my body's used to shorts, so I did something and screwed up my whole body.
You're
I don't know
fine.
What's going on now?
You're fine. It's okay to wear pants once in a while.
Long pants. I wear pants every
That
day.
should be on a bumper sticker. It's okay to wear pants once in a
I
while.
gotta say long pants because some people will be like, I'm not wearing any pants.
I'm not wearing pants.
I wear
to wear
pants every day. Just, they're
I have
short.
leggings on right now, UGG boots, and my winter jacket.
I believe Greg had leggings on the other day because he did make a statement from all the other media people that under his things he did have leggings on.
You know, good for him. At least he came prepared.
He did. He was all set. I think he said he had 5 layers of clothes on.
Because it's cold. All right, anyway.
So cold. Last Tuesday, as we had told you guys, we were going to the Disney Springs AMC to see a showing of Disneyland Handcrafted by Leslie Iwerks, which was awesome.
It was awesome. Now, this actually comes out on Disney Plus on the 22nd.
Thursday.
So all of you will get to be able to see it soon. And I do recommend it.
Definitely.
If you love Disney history, then Disney Handcrafted is for you. And I don't want to give any spoilers away because I don't think we should.
No.
But I'm going to say this. I feel that watching this little film really puts into perspective how much we take for granted and how we are so used to technology and how things are made and how everything is, electronics or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like machinery. Let's say
Right,
machinery.
Right.
And back then they didn't have that sort of thing. So
It was hand tools. It wasn't sprayers for painting. It was brushes and paint. And I mean, it's incredible. Even if you're not a Disney historian fan, this will really show you like how they did things back then.
Yeah.
And open that window up to like, oh my gosh, I had no idea.
yeah, same. So it was really truly fascinating to see and compare, if you will, of how things get done today as opposed to how things got done back then.
Right.
And I feel, just my personal opinion, that maybe I take for granted I don't want to say things are easy these days because they're not.
It's easier now though because they run every blueprint and every diagram through a computer to make sure the build can come together. Where if you really listen and if you've followed any history, Walt did not use a lot of those type of people to build Disneyland.
No, and to see these guys standing in a dirt field with literal paper blueprints and them looking over papers with like a pencil over their ear, and discussing and pointing to different areas like, okay, this should go here, this should do this.
Right.
And how talented and resourceful people were.
Right, because he did not use. I mean, the people who actually did the work, the building, all that, they were people who did that for a living. But the people who designed it, who built it all, they built movies. They built movie sets and stuff like that. So basically, you had these people who built movie sets that are supposed to be torn apart and put back together and torn apart and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Build Disneyland. And it's just amazing. And you're watching them build it. And so if you go to like a construction site now, you see like you can see like where they're going to build. You see the ropes like, okay, this building's going to come out to this point and all that. They didn't have that. It was more like it was measured somehow.
And they would pretty much use their imaginations as to how things were going to go. It's fascinating. And something I learned that I didn't know before, because anytime I've seen Disneyland history things with Walt, you always see Walt out there in his like sun hat and whatever. And if you were listening, he only came out there like once a month to check on the project.
Yeah, either once a week or once a month, something like that. But he didn't.
He was
wasn't
not
there
out
every
there all
day.
the time.
No, he wasn't. He had the guys because he would come out. Well, I don't want to ruin anything for the show. Watch the show, but I will say one thing I loved about the show. So a lot of times you see these documentaries and they're a combination of still photos or a combination of interviews or a combination of video. This one is all the video footage that Walt had shot, had hired a crew to shoot during the construction of Disneyland, which it had no audio, it had no color.
Nope.
So Leslie and her team went to Skywalker Sound and they put sound effects into the entire thing. They put color into all the videos that they wanted to have color. It absolutely amazing what they did with this.
And it was like found footage. It wasn't something that they had been, collecting dust on a shelf and they said, hey, let's do something with this.
Right.
It was from the archives and things that they just came across. And when she found this footage, there was a lot of work that had to be done in order to turn this into like a little documentary film, because it couldn't be just shown like it was. They had to do all kinds of tweaking to it. And one thing I'll say is old film looks like old film. I mean, there's only so much they can do to make it look more clear or crisp it up a little bit. But when you watch this, keep in mind in the back of your head that a lot of this footage they had to add sound to.
Right.
You would never know. They didn't
no
skip a
idea.
beat.
Nope.
It was just fascinating, and they did it so good that you can't tell.
No, if you're watching, you sit there and go, "There's no way this did not have the sound. This did not have the color," because it just flows so well.
And the sound, if you think about it, if nobody would have told you ahead of time that a lot of this footage did not have sound, you wouldn't have known.
No idea.
Had no idea.
Nope. I actually can't wait to watch it again. Because to me, I enjoyed it that much just to see what they did. And bravo to Leslie Iwerks for putting this together, because she said she found a lot of this footage. It was brought to her attention during the making of the Imagineering story, which is her Disney Plus series that came out, I think, the first year of Disney Plus or maybe the second year of Disney Plus.
It's been a few years now.
It's been a few years, which is an amazing series also.
Very interesting.
But she got all this and she said, we have to do something with this. We have to show this to the people, because I think they said 90 or 95% of this footage had never been seen by the public. That It was all, I mean, you do see some stuff from opening day. You see little things like that. But as far as the building of the park and when it goes from just a big field to a park and the timing, and we're going to talk a lot more about this in a little bit, but the timing, it took them 1 year, less than 1 year from the time they started clearing ground to the date the park opened.
And the people that were putting the park together actually went to Walt at one point and said, let's push it to September. And he said, no.
He said, no, we can't.
He said, no, we're gonna do July because I said July. And what Walt wanted, what Walt got, basically.
And one of the things that I know they talked to Leslie after the event, because she was interviewed on stage by another Imagineer, and she had made the comment that they had wanted Walt to push it to September, but Leslie feels, and I don't know if she knew this from her father, her grandfather, or what, but Walt knew that if he pushed it September, they may have gone bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because that's how tight budget was for this project, that you would hear him in the movie, because they would play his overlay of his audio sometimes talking about things, and just to hear him like talking to people about, okay, you know how much this is costing me? Do you know how much this is costing? The whole project?
money was spoken about a lot, and he took a huge risk, obviously, huge risk for all of this, and you'll just have to watch. I don't want to spoil it, but
next week we can talk a little bit more.
One of the ways that he was talking about it was basically it was his butt on the line for all of this, because he's the one who would take the biggest downfall if this failed.
But he even said, if it happens, it's not the first time it's happened to me.
Right.
He kind of like, if it happens, it does. We deal with it. We move forward. But he goes, but he did. He put his life insurance policy online, another mortgage on his home.
He put everything on the line.
Yeah.
And they said, and this was a time in history where there was nothing like it, but also quote unquote amusement parks were failing in other places. So the fact that he was going to create the world's first big amusement park on
Right.
this kind of a scale, people thought he was nuts
Right.
because others were failing.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody built parks the way we view a park today. Because when you think
No.
of theme park now, you think of Disney, Cedar Point, Universal. You think of those type of parks.
Yeah.
But back then, that's not really what they were. They were places to come together, and they had smaller rides and such. But they
Yeah,
didn't have
it's
the
not
big
like they
thrill
had
rides.
big thrill rides, and they weren't on the scale obviously as they are today. But for something that happened back then, it was huge, and yeah, pretty darn cool.
Yeah, so it was very cool. Leslie did take a few questions from the audience.
She did.
One of the questions that was asked is, when are they going to do a documentary about Roy Disney?
Yeah, and she kind of laughed.
She laughed at it and she said, the powers that be, you heard the question, they want to see it. So it was kind of like a jab at the powers that pay for this stuff. Hey, we maybe need to do. I think one that would be great is for her to do would be Bob Gurr. Because what he did as far as like the Autopia, the Matterhorn, all that stuff, how he designed it all, and not having the background to design those things, but Walt in the monorail, I mean, Walt just kind of looked at him and said, get this done. So I think that would
Right.
be another great documentary that
But
would be great.
I think if they did something on Roy, it would be great because of the fact that you always hear about Walt.
Yeah.
But Walt had the ideas, but there was people that had to make it happen.
Right.
And a lot fell on Roy Disney's shoulders because, Walt was the dreamer and kind of the loose cannon. And his brother was more like, how are we going to do this?
And how are we going to pay for it?
How are we going to pay for this?
Yeah.
And so kind of the way she laughed, I'm wondering if they've already been in talks about that.
I hope so.
And I hope so too. And we got to meet Leslie Iwerks.
We did get to meet Leslie. So Michele, I was talking to somebody, I can't remember who, and Michele saw Leslie and she was getting ready to leave the theater, and Michele ran over to her. And
I got
stopped by, there was a somebody coming through with a wheelchair, so I was letting them pass, and you darted to Leslie. And
Actually, I darted before you got stopped because
Yeah.
you didn't see me take off. You
No,
were talking to
that's
people,
true.
and all of a sudden I was gone.
I know, and you're waving for me to get over there.
Because I saw her, like the theater was mostly clear. And I saw her, she hadn't left the theater yet. And she had a handler there and she was talking to somebody else. And you know what? Because of what we do for a living, and we've met celebrities and we've met people in the company.
Right.
And I came under the thought of, if you don't ask, you don't know.
She could have said no.
She could have totally said no. And I came up to her and I just said, that I loved the film and that my husband is a huge, huge fan, and it would mean like so much to him if he could take a picture with you.
Mhm.
And she was like, oh yeah, sure.
I teared up.
I know.
'Cause to me, it was huge.
I turned around, you guys. I looked and, again, I was probably a good 12 feet away from
Probably
you
at
at
least.
least. And I'm flagging him down. I'm like, hurry, because her person was trying to get her to leave, and she told her person, hold on a minute.
Right.
So I didn't want to hold them up any further. And as soon as you saw me with her, you had like a beep moment,
Mm-hmm.
like, you got to get around.
Yeah.
And when he got to her, he was like a bit of a puddle, you guys, bit of a puddle.
It was just because of her grandfather's legacy of
Yes.
Iwerks. And
Yes.
I truly feel Walt Disney, Mickey Mouse, none of that would be what it is today if not for the contributions of her grandfather. Because he was
yeah.
such an integral part. I mean, their first business in Kansas City together, the laughing or the Laugh-O-Grams, that was all them. And these were businesses that failed, both of them. But
Right.
Walt's the one that everybody always talks about, but nobody really talks about Ub and how much he had. When they created Mickey Mouse, it was Ub's hand that drew Mickey, and a lot of people
And
don't
Oswald.
talk. And Oswald. It was Ub who was the one who came up with that. The first Mickey short, Ub drew it all by hand himself.
See, and I think that just like I was saying that, and I'm not saying anything, nothing for nothing about Walt Disney,
Right.
but there's people that helped make Walt what he was,
Mm-hmm.
and not just Roy,
Right.
but of Iwerks, who was pivotal in creating the things that we all love today.
Right.
And he just doesn't seem to get the credit that he deserves.
Well, that was one of the stories. So Leslie, her grandfather died when she was 1.
Yes.
So she never really got. She said there's one picture that exists of the two of them, but she talked because you don't see any references to Ub in the whole documentary, and she said because Ub was back at the studio because Walt wanted him to create a 360 camera system for viewing to watch 360 vision. and he was back at the studio creating that was going to go inside Disneyland once it opened.
Right.
And the best part was, Ub figured out how to do that, but it was his son Don Iwerks, Leslie's father, who was the cameraman who helped them create that. And this is the man who helped create 3D cameras. This was the man who helped create a lot of the special movie effects that we use to this day. So Leslie's grandfather created a lot of stuff. Her dad did, and now she's the storyteller. And we found out her cousin is actually an Imagineer to this day.
Yeah, so it really is a family affair when it comes to the Iwerks. And all I can say is definitely check it out on the 22nd, or if this coming weekend, if you don't have anything to do, if it's
like an hour and a half. Yeah,
if it's chilly outside and you're just kind of hanging out, fire up Disney Plus and watch Disney Handcrafted because it's good.
It's good. It's worth the hour and a half. You won't regret it. If you're any kind of Disney fan, you will love seeing this.
Yes, absolutely.
So we did that on Tuesday. Then based on our announcement last week, we were busy Wednesday and Thursday with getting House of Mouse stuff, working on a lot of that.
Oh my goodness.
Which we're going to touch a little bit on that later. And then Friday was the opening of the Epcot International Festival of the Arts.
Right. And now Friday was going to be like the coldest morning of forever.
34 degrees.
It was very, very cold.
Because we had to be there at 7:30.
7:30, we needed to be at the gates of Epcot for this event. And I woke up not feeling so great. So you went and covered without me. Mm-hmm. And I really hate missing an event. Right. And I was kind of not sure how to feel about it until you finally was like, you're not going.
And I wasn't prepared for it because I forgot to pack a phone charger or pack my bag. Because usually if it's the two of us, we have both our phones going. We don't have to worry about it for an event like these. So my phone was, because of the cold, my phone was dying quicker.
And usually when I'm there, I'm like, you wind me up and let me go. And I'm all over the place.
Right.
So it wasn't like a divide and conquer. It was just you. Yeah. And I was watching from home. And you did a great job. It's hard for me to let the reins go, but when I don't feel good, not to mention the fact that it was 30-some degrees.
Well, and if you're already not feeling good and with all your other stuff with the
my nerve,
trigeminal nerve, the cold is not good for you with that. So I figured if you already weren't feeling good and then you have that, being out there in the cold is only going to make things worse for you for the weekend, which I think you had a decent weekend because you weren't out and all that.
But I stayed home all weekend.
Yeah, you did.
I did not go anywhere.
No.
And I think that's why I feel a little cooped up today. But anyway, you did that. And as far as like new things, they in Communicore Hall, they did the Broadway display like they did last year. They just changed the theming.
Much better this year.
Okay.
I liked it so much better. So this year it's you walk in and it's kind of Beauty and the Beast, but they've actually built a section of it to where you feel like you're off stage, getting ready to go on stage for the performance.
Okay.
So the way they set up the cameras, they set up the spot where you would walk through to go on stage. If you're standing right by the director's spot where you can hear them like light 1, light 2, and all this. So they just really did cool. And then they showed like a makeup and hair booth where like how they get people ready. I mean, it was really cool.
Can I get my makeup and hair done?
They can get your makeup and hair done.
I want to do that.
But it was really cool to see how they did all that this year. Last year was just a lot of the costuming and a lot of the props.
It was very Lion King heavy.
Yeah. And they do have a little bit of Lion King. They have the mountain that they come out.
Okay, all right.
That's in there. They still have some costumes from Lion King. They have how they do some of the silhouette puppets to show like the puppets walking and such like that. And then they had Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Lion King, and then they had costumes from other Broadway.
Right, I remember seeing that.
So they did all that this year. I think it's definitely something to walk through and check out. If you're a fan of any of that kind of live stage production or whatever, you want to see it.
And even if you're not, like I've never been to Broadway or a Broadway production, but I enjoy seeing the costuming.
True.
And different things like that. And then they had the big genie lamp out there too.
And so that was a cool thing we got to see before we walked in to the room. It's right across from the entrance there, and it actually starts to smoke a little bit, like the genie's getting ready to come out, and you hear the background music playing, like, and you're just sitting there waiting. Okay, is he gonna come out? I know he's not, but it would just be cool if he kind of popped out of there.
Well, yeah, that would be like definitely breaking news.
Disney could do it. Figure it out.
And grant wishes while we're at it.
Well, yeah, if you want to do that.
I'm sure we all need a little bit of something right now.
I think the wishes would be easier than making a genie appear.
Yeah, probably.
But we got to go in there and check all that out. Then they took us and they led us to an area I had never been before, and it was one of the reception rooms that they had built that's over by the seas, above the seas, actually, the second floor of that. And they took us in there, and we got to hear from 4 of the different Broadway stars who are going to be performing. They're there now, actually. So I think they every other night or every couple nights.
They rotate them out. It's not the same performers from Broadway that is the whole festival long. And mind you, just going to throw it out there, this festival is not long. It's over in February. Yeah. So it's one of those things that if you want to, go to Festival of the Arts, you have to definitely make plans to do it, or it's going to be over.
It will be over. It's one. People kept saying this is the quickest festival, and it's got to be right there with the Holiday Festival.
Yeah, because the Holiday Festival is really short. Also, a few weeks.
This one ends like around the 20th of February, so about a month from now. It's going to be completely over. So it's kind of crazy.
I think that's longer than holidays, because holidays is like basically Thanksgiving weekend until like right after Christmas. It's over pretty much.
So we did put out the video of the panel. You can see that on our YouTube channel, and actually we did put a blog out on the Mainstream House site. You can go and read or watch the video. It's like 16 minutes, but it's more these artists just talking about what a thrill it is to come and perform at Epcot to do this. One of them had been there 5 years in a row. I think 2 of them this was their first year, and they all seem very excited to be a part of this. So I think it's going to be really good. I did not go back for the concert that night because I was not feeling good being out there in the cold. And I don't know if I caught a little bit of what you had.
Yeah, we were just quite the pair on Friday.
Yeah, but we are going to plan to get out there in the next week or so we can go see one of the shows, and we'll get footage of that and share that on YouTube.
And don't forget, also, there are the artist booths all around the park.
Yes.
There are different photo locations where you can get different pictures and different looks like you're in an actual painting.
Yes.
New this year is the Disney Lorcana experience.
Yes.
So Lorcana cards in the past couple of years have become super popular, and I guess I didn't realize how much so.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's crazy.
So it's like a scavenger hunt like they usually do with Lorcana cards. And you showed me video of the area waiting to pick up your complimentary packet of Lorcana cards. Yeah. And it was almost like popcorn buckets.
It really was like they were waiting for a Figment bucket, but it was for these because they were giving a free pack of Lorcana cards. And I want to say you could probably get 15 cards in a pack. But you had all the Lorcana traders. You know what? Not that Disney needs any reason to get people to come out to the parks because they're packed anyway.
Right.
But I bet you any money having these free packs of Lorcana cards brought out all those true Lorcana fans to get that pack of cards because they're trying to get those special cards that were released in this deck to be able to play with, to trade with, to even some people do sell them.
Oh, yeah, you already saw them on eBay.
Yeah, I did.
Because for anything that's new to Disney, people eBay it. As far as the Figment popcorn bucket, again, it is through mobile order at the Odyssey. Right. Now, this pretty much eliminates the absolute havoc a few years back where there was an 8-hour wait for popcorn buckets and people were pretty much fighting for them, which in hindsight, come on.
So on opening day, at the Odyssey, like you said, the line, the Odyssey didn't open till 11, as well as none of the booths or the art booths around World Showcase. None of them opened till 11, but you did have people lining up earlier in that to get their popcorn buckets. And there was a line for the popcorn buckets, and there was a line for the food. That was
because there's specialty food over there, but mobile order is how you get that bucket. And of course they have festival merchandise. And as of today, from what I saw, I should have wrote it up, but I was being lazy. You can get some of the festival merchandise at the Disney store online.
Oh, good.
Again, this really does cut back with people fighting over merchandise or things selling out when you can just go online and get it. Granted, you don't get your annual pass holder discount, but it does help. So, I mean, you can't get the popcorn bucket online, though.
No, and see that we were saying there, and I watched people walk out with like 8 popcorn buckets. You saw a husband and wife and 2 babies in a stroller walking out with
There's always a way because they're going to go sell them.
Yep, they're going to sell them on eBay, and as long as there's demand for this stuff, people are going to sell it, and it's kind of sad that they do that, but
hey, you know what? That's the times we live in. But at least Disney is trying to eliminate that with the merchandise. So a lot of the food booths, of course, have a lot of the same old, some new things. But you only have I have the passport in my hand right now. February 23rd is when it ends. So you have some few weeks to get over there.
And if you're gonna do the Lorcana thing, it's kind of like how they do with the Easter eggs, or they do it's kind of like a treasure hunt throughout the park to find. And then if you complete it, you get a special Lorcana card at the very end.
Which I believe is a Rapunzel.
I believe it's a Rapunzel card as well. So we will be going back to do the.
I never gave a flip about the scavenger hunts.
Until
but
now.
This one I do because I want a Rapunzel card.
I know you do. Well, I did get one card in my pack, a Rapunzel card.
But I want the special one.
I know. So we will go back and get it. Probably, hopefully, maybe this weekend or something like that, or maybe
one day this week.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go over there and do that just because I want to. And but you see, all right, follow me for a second. Sidebar: if you have somebody who has a fandom for a specific thing.
Right.
Now, see, I don't get the Figment frenzy.
Right.
I do not get it. I repeat, I do not get it.
I'm guessing you don't get it.
I don't get it.
Okay.
I am not going to fight anybody for a popcorn bucket. Okay, but
you did want that first year one.
I got caught up because I thought, okay, this is going to be something that they'll never have again. Like, it's like year 5.
Yeah, you totally were. You got all into that. I don't want to miss out. I got to get the Figment bucket.
Well, no, I went and bought one for my friend who actually likes Figment. And I'm sitting there and they said, well, you can buy up to 2. Do you want a second one? And I said, yes, before I realized it. So I bought 2. And then I looked at you and I'm like, why did I just do this? And because I got caught up. So it is easy to get caught up.
Very.
But also, sidebar, there could be too much of a good thing. So you are going to like maybe too much Figment could be too much. It's not going to hold its excitement like
you would be happy if that happened.
I would love it. But but it might not be. Saturation is a thing.
It is.
You know?
It is.
And you never know. But anyway, I digress. The because it's a Rapunzel card that I'm aware. Now, like, I would actually go and play that game not caring about the scavenger hunts.
Right, you just want to find them so you can get
But I want the Rapunzel card.
Right.
So this is how, they suck people in because there are things. And we do not get enough tangled things.
No.
So, yeah, I want to go get that card. Do I even care about Lorcana cards? No. But I want that card because it's a Rapunzel card and it's a special card and you can only get it for a couple weeks.
Right.
So, if Disney taps into certain characters, whatever they may be, then yeah, of course it creates more buzz.
Of course.
But yeah, Lorcana cards, I know we'll be going over there to get more.
So we will be at Epcot a lot, is what Michelle is saying.
No, I don't need a bunch of the special cards because I keep that stuff for me.
Right.
And I don't know if anybody really cares. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want it.
And we will go get it.
I just want it for me.
But we got to have 2 because I have to have one as a collector. See, that's the whole thing why I've avoided Lorcana. I am a collector, and you know this. And when I start collecting something, I go full on.
Yeah, you get a little crazy sometimes.
A little crazy with it. So I've avoided Lorcana for that very purpose because I could see myself diving deep into this fandom.
But don't get all crazy.
And not playing the game. It was just about collecting the cards to me.
But see, sometimes you jump in with, if you had more than 2 feet, you could say that.
Right.
Like if you had 8 feet.
Well, no, I did it with
Vinylmation is what I was going to say. One of them. You got nutso over the Vinylmation.
I did because we were still in Michigan.
I know, and that was like our little piece. We go to the store in Ohio. But anyway.
Sad that they don't know me so well.
I know they did. So anyway, yeah, Lorcana, popcorn buckets, and all that good stuff, and you have just a few weeks to do so.
Yes, so make sure you get over there. So the weekend, Saturday, again, House of Mouse Expo stuff. Yesterday was more House of Mouse Expo.
We
stuff.
have not left the house.
We haven't, because it's in the early stages, and there's a lot of things I need to get done now to make my life easier in the coming weeks.
I think though, for mental health purposes, like I could feel myself like feeling a little bit crappy by bedtime last night. And sometimes it doesn't matter how busy we are, like with house and mouse stuff or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you just need a mental health break and
I
to
agree.
step away from it.
Yeah.
But I did. So our dog Ava, her birthday was yesterday. Our little Frenchie.
I had a feeling you were going to bring this up.
And I'm just talking about getting out of the house.
Okay.
So she doesn't know how to walk on a leash.
No.
And
Unless she wants to. When she wants to, she's great.
But it's not often. When we had our other dog, Jack, she used to follow Jack because Jack loved going for walks.
Right.
And Ava, she's like, I don't want to do this. So now, we were going to spoil her yesterday. She got extra treats. She got all this. And I'm like, I'm going to take her for a walk. And Aiden and I went outside.
About 2.5 minutes.
Oh, not even. So he was trying to pull her on a leash, and all her wrinkles went up, like smushed around her face. She was not budging. So I went in the house, and I grabbed the car keys, and we took her for a drive around the neighborhood. We went all around the streets, and I took a picture of her sitting in the car. Like, instead of taking her for a walk, we took her for a drive.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
So that was my getting out yesterday. We took Ava for a drive around the neighborhood instead of a walk. But yeah. Okay, anyway, go on.
Okay, so anyway, now that we've...
You know what? I love her.
I know. I know, and you tell me 52 times a day, I think. One for every week of the year.
I will do what I can to spoil her.
Okay, so I'm going to run through the news from the last week really quickly here. Any of these news stories will be hyperlinked in the show notes in the description, so you can click on any of that. That'll take you to the Main Street Mouse, and you can read more about any of these that seem to capture your attention. But the first news story that came out shortly after last week's episode was that BB Rexha, Zed, and more were announced as headliners for the Universal Mardi Gras 2026 concert series that they'll be doing here. And one thing to keep in mind with the Mardi Gras concert series is they're one night. They perform one night, and that's it. Unlike where Epcot, where they'll perform 2 or 3 nights, depending, or even 4 nights, they only perform on that one night. So the concert lineup this year for Universal's Mardi Gras starts on February 7th, and it's Cascade is starting it. February 14th, Valentine's Day, Portugal the Man. February 15th, Ivy Queen. February 21st, Joey Fatone and AJ McLean, so you have an NSYNC Backstreet Boy night.
I would go to that.
February 28th, RuPaul's doing a DJ set.
I would go to that.
March 7th, Shaggy, which I
wouldn't go to that.
I know you're not a big Shaggy fan. March 13th, Tyler Hubbard.
Why did you say it like him? Okay, anyway, go ahead. You said, I know you're not.
I'm Shaggy.
I know.
I can do the Shaggy.
The way you said it. Okay, never mind. I'll shut up. Go ahead.
March 14th, BB Rexha. March 15th is Zed. March 21st, the Bare Naked Ladies. And then March 28th, closing out, is the All American Rejects.
Okay.
For this year's show.
Sorry, that was just funny.
So, yeah, those are the concert series. Again, these are one night, and they do one performance that night, and that's it.
So people will camp out during like the day. Like I've never camped out. I've gotten lucky all the time. I don't get a great thing, but if there's somebody that you want to see and you want to see them close up,
Get there at Park Open.
Well, not necessarily Park Open.
Depends how popular it is.
Yeah.
Like Shaggy, you don't have to fight Michele for a spot. But if it's Zed, you're going to have to fight Michele for a spot.
Zed, I will fight you.
So the next blog that came out, Lunar New Year food rundown for Disneyland Resort. So their foodie guide basically for the Lunar New Year celebration out there. Mm-hmm. Disney Eats introduced the new savory loaded waffles that were coming to Disney Springs. So we actually saw this on Sunday. Actually, I forgot. We did go to Disney Springs last Sunday. We went and Chuck and Karen at Switzerland.
We did.
We walked around, and it used to be the Bubble Waffle stand that's just outside of World of Disney, across from Ghirardelli. They closed that booth, and they had the signs on it that it was under something new. And then the next morning, we got the press release that there was a new savory waffle stand coming into that, which they sound really good. So I do want to go back.
Do you
think
think so?
open? Yeah, because there's stuff I'd eat. Maybe
Are
not
they really?
You. Yeah, there's actually
Probably not me though, huh?
Probably not. I think there's only 3 different waffles. I'm trying to load it here and it's taking forever. Okay, there it goes. Loaded. So there's going to be 3 new waffles. And the reason you won't eat them is just because of what's on them. So they have a hot honey chicken waffle, which I love hot honey, but it's crispy fried chicken bites. The waffle will contain black pepper, candy bacon, spicy pickle slaw, roasted jalapenos, garlic ranch, and chopped parsley.
Okay.
So to me, that one's I gotta try them all though. They have the bacon cheeseburger waffle.
See, I won't eat that either.
Yeah, so it's a blended ground beef, crispy bacon, cheddar cheese sauce, dill pickles, iceberg lettuce, diced tomatoes, and burger sauce. So it almost sounds like a Big Mac on a waffle to me.
Okay.
And then last not least, the barbecue brisket mac and cheese waffle, which just the waffle with black pepper barbecue sauce, pickled onions, chopped parsley, mac and cheese, and of course chunks of smoky brisket on it. So all three of them sound delicious to me. I almost said delicioso.
Delicioso, like Dora said.
They all sound very good to me, so I would like to go back and try them. I know they came out, I think it was on Friday last week,
earlier.
Thursday last week. One day last week they dropped. So bless you.
Sorry.
So yeah, get over there. Once I try them, we will let you guys know. I'm sure Michele will take pictures and post that on the socials.
Yes, Michele will take pictures.
Of course she will. And then you put out your review of Disneyland's Handcrafted, which again is coming out on Disney Plus this Thursday.
Yes.
Make sure to check that out. This is one that I predicted some time ago on this very show. I said, we talked about Galaxy's Edge, and I said, they need to bring back the old school Star Wars characters. And guess what they announced? Disneyland is getting the old school Star Wars characters. So you're going to get Vader, you're going to get Stormtroopers, Luke, Leia, Han, Chewbacca, all these characters. Well, Chewbacca was already there. C-3PO, R2-D2. Some of these old school characters that are from the original trilogy and such are going to be debuting in Galaxy's Edge. So I'm really excited. So now I need to get to Disneyland just to see that.
So here's my question. You think they'll do it here too? I do.
Eventually, yeah, they will.
I do. I definitely do. They always seem to start in Disneyland.
They do. They get everything better out there first, and then we're always the
I
second
know.
ones that
They
get
always
it.
get the good stuff
Yeah,
first.
I know. Just give us something first for once. That's all we're asking for.
Right.
Then new Phineas and Ferb movies coming to Disney Plus and Disney Channel. That was announced
Mm-hmm.
this week. Daisy Duck steals the spotlight in the new. Is that Gani? Is that how you pronounce that brand? Ganni?
I don't know. It's too expensive for me.
Gani Disney Collection. So it was some new Daisy Duck. I think there was a bag, a couple of sweaters.
Yeah, there's
things
some
like that.
expensive stuff.
And news that dropped that I knew was going to eventually happen, but I didn't know it was going to be happening now because I predicted it was going to happen closer to D23.
He's the great predictor.
I am the great predictor. Kathleen Kennedy stepped down as the president of Lucasfilms, and Dave Filoni was promoted. Filoni was promoted to that role, and I think that is the best choice for that because between him and Jon Favreau, what they've done with the Star Wars universe, since they've kind of both taken over the directing side of it all and the writing and such.
Yes.
It's really helped with Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, Book of Boba Fett. I think they're doing a great job. Bad Batch, they're phenomenal. They're going to be great, and I think putting Dave in charge to oversee the whole thing, I think you're putting a fan in charge of the fan property.
Yes, I agree. And do you remember months ago it was rumored and there was somebody that put it out saying that it was happening, but it was not it was not set in stone, and then they had to retract because that didn't happen. But at the time when it was making the rounds, people were happy about it because a lot of people did not like her in charge. So I guess, I think the choice is good also, and we'll see what happens. And I'm going to just say again, I hope that we get the original stuff, Galaxy's Edge here, because I am bored to death in Galaxy's Edge right now.
Well, now Dave could take care of that for us, too.
Let's
I'm sure
hope.
he can get that. And Kathleen Kennedy, I mean, she's been with Lucasfilm forever. She actually,
Right.
I was watching, I think it was Temple of Doom, or maybe it was Raiders of the Lost Ark last week or whatever, and she's listed as one of the executive producers in that movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so she's been around Lucasfilm that many years. She just wasn't in charge of Lucasfilm.
Oh, okay.
All that time. So Gideon's put out a statement about 6 Ravens by Gideon's Bakehouse is opening this year at Disney Springs.
Yeah, so Gideon's is getting, there has been chatter that they were going to open a second location. Well, and this is why we wait for definites to come out, because it isn't another cookie place.
No.
It is, they're going to be making like little like meat pie type of things, and they're going to have like these donut dunker things. But so it's going to be like real food options.
Okay.
Like original Gideon's is all desserts and
Cookies
coffees.
and cakes
Yes. And this is going to have some food choices. There was also one of the pictures. It was like bread that they were like dipping into cheese. And I love bread and cheese.
Bread and cheese is a good
So
combo.
yeah, I'll take it. So yes. So we don't know where, because, so get this. So last week or the week before, I put out that Sprinkles Cupcakes closed all their locations, including Disney Springs.
Correct. They came out on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that came out. Yeah, because New Year's Day, they were done.
Yep.
It was like no notice.
It was like the contracts ended for all their locations, and we're done.
And yeah, that was really sad. So this week, that store Francesca's, which nobody talks about in Disney Springs, it's over by like where like the Pure Vita store is.
Okay.
By the bracelet store.
Yeah.
They are closing their locations as well.
All of their locations?
I don't know all.
Oh,
I think
wow.
most, if not all. Times are tough. Businesses are closing. And so people are now speculating, is the new Gideon's going to go in the Francesca's or would it go into where Sprinkles is?
It would make sense for Sprinkles because they already have a full kitchen.
True. But also, think of it this way. Gideon's like philosophy or what they got going on right now at Disney Springs is small location, huge line.
Right.
So if they put it in Francesca's,
super small location, huge
line. But the line could disrupt other storefronts.
Oh, yeah.
So if they put it, listen to me with ideas. So if they put it in the Sprinkles building, at least you could line up over the bridge.
Yeah, the only store that's close is the Pandora store.
Right, but if you line up the other way towards the bridge, then you're not bothering anybody.
Right, go towards Raglan.
Yes. Go over the bridge. But we don't know. Nothing has come out as of yet. But yeah, I forgot to mention that other little store is closing. So if that area of stores like where the bracelet store is and across from like Pandora, across from that that Frontera, those stores have been some in and out.
They have, because wasn't there?
There was a
Michael
shoe
Jordan
store.
Shoe store was there.
There was. Is Alex and Ani still over there? I don't even know.
I think so.
Because that had its heyday with Disney. I know up north they still wear them, but like here, like Disney stuff. Because remember, I had a ton and they tarnished.
And remember, we talked to them at the store the one time, and they're like, "Yeah, the ones in the park tarnish, the ones from the stores don't."
Yeah, which is so weird.
Because they said the quality was different for the ones that were sold in the parks.
Yeah, the more you know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
always something to learn in there. So you put out a blog about inexpensive souvenirs at Basin at Walt Disney World.
Yes. Now our friend Claire wrote that one, and she wrote about the little soaps that they're like soap remnants.
The pieces that when they have because the block isn't exactly set for the exact piece, so they cut them up and put them in little baggies for you.
Now this is like around $4.
Mm-hmm.
If you recall, when we lived in Michigan, I used to buy those.
Yes.
Because it is the cheapest but coolest little souvenir you can get, because you can get like the Mickey soaps.
Right.
And
you can pick the bag.
Yeah, you go through the baggies, but they don't always have them, because she was saying that the time beforehand they were out, they didn't have them. So she just happened to catch it when she was here in November. So it's good to always check up by the registers at Basin, because it's a great little souvenir. And how often, I mean, let's be real, can you find a cute, inexpensive souvenir at Disney? Like, you can't. So.
Well, yeah, just a regular bar of their soap is expensive.
Right, but you get a bunch of little ones to try, and it's totally worth it.
And it's smart, because it's going to lead you to possibly buy the bar next time, because now you got to try and see.
Absolutely.
Because remember, they were doing that at Summer House on the Lake when they were doing that with the cookies.
Oh, yeah.
They put broken pieces of cookies.
Same concept, but cookies.
For $5, you got a bag full of little cookie bites, and it was like, oh, that was a good idea, because then you could try all these different cookies without actually buying the cookie and committing. Because once you buy the cookie, you have to commit to that cookie.
Right, and if you don't like it, oh well.
I mean, I would eat it anyway.
You would anyway.
I would. But okay, so that was cool. So thank you, Claire, for writing that article for us. We appreciate that. Mattel Indoor Water Park is coming.
Yes.
So you did this one also.
I did. So I guess it's going to be pretty good size. And it's going to have different Mattel properties.
Okay.
And I didn't realize. I always think Mattel, Barbie, or Hot Wheels.
Right.
But they do have a lot of other things, too.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. They have not said anything, even if they have not given out any major details yet.
I'll be curious to see how they do that, though, because Toy Story, I know they leased a lot of those franchises for the Toy Story franchise. a lot of those different toys and stuff that were in, because Barbie's in Toy Story, but
But
the licensor,
Barbie had her own movie out
Right.
that had nothing to do with Disney. So.
No, I'm just saying if you have a water park that close and you're using all your different properties.
Well, from what I understand, it's not going to be right near Disney.
Okay, I was just curious. Like, I'm not sure if Mr. Potato Head is a Mattel, but is he going to be there because you see him at Toy Story Land also?
I don't know.
So I'd just be curious. To see how they do all that.
The article I did have location in
Okay.
there. And I don't remember. I asked you, like, was it the 535?
535, yeah, which is the road that you take if you're coming out off onto the if you're going out to the airport. I think you can take the 535. If I'm not mistaken, that's one of the routes to get there.
Yeah. So it said close to parks, but it's not going to be right on Disney's lap.
There's a lot of land over there, not far from the Crib Royale.
Okay, yes,
which
because
has
that's
a
where
lot
you
of
said that you
Yes,
thought it was.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of empty land over in that area, so that could be interesting to see what they do over there. So
Guess
good
we'll
for them.
find out.
I guess hopefully we get to go see it.
I would love to.
And then we put out the blog came out yesterday about the Disney on Broadway panel. So you can see the panel that I got to sit through the other day. Now watching this panel, I'm gonna give you a little like Easter egg. Watch behind the people speaking because we're on the other side of the seas. So you see all the marine life behind them, and there was a big turtle that swam by at one point. There was a stingray that went by a couple times back and forth, and that became the thing that we were all kind of watching.
Watching for things to swim back and forth.
Because the timing, it was like, did Disney plan that?
They're like, okay, ready, go.
Yeah, it was really cool the way that happened, but just something fun to watch. And it's only like a 16-minute video, so if you have time, check that out and hear what they have to say. And then the blog you put out earlier was the Ramen Rumble.
The Ramen Rumble. Let's get ready to rumble.
At Morimoto Asia, Disney Springs is coming, which fittingly, the Royal Rumble is later this month. Timing.
Not far after.
But the Ramen Rumble is returning because this has happened before.
It has. And if you want to know who the returning chefs are and such, it's in that blog.
Okay. Yep. Go check out that blog. You can read all about it. But that's all the news stories for the past week. Again, if any one of those you want to learn more information about it, click on the link in the show notes, and that will take you to the article on the Mainstream Mouse, and you can read all about the details. I was just going to give a quick update on House of Mouse Expo because you know what? The documentary Handcrafted kind of inspired me that Walt kind of promoted Disneyland for a full year on TV every week.
Right.
So I'm going to say a little bit about House of Mouse every week for the next 7 months.
You have been warned.
You have been warned. But not a lot of updates this week. I did sign my first guest today. Not announcing it yet. I'm very, very excited about who it is. So I will be announcing that hopefully within the next week. Still working on the site, trying to get the little things done so we can get the tickets out there. We're still waiting on some information to be able to put the vendor information out because I just want to make sure I have all my bases covered because I don't want to put out something and then somebody asks me a question and I don't have the answer to it and then we're having to start from scratch with that. Also, the hotel, I do have the links so that people could start booking the hotels if they like. So we could actually put those on social media, I guess. If somebody wanted to book their hotel room, we could put that out there.
I did have somebody ask, but maybe we'll wait until the site is up to make it like one-stop shopping with the links. But we did go back to the hotel last week to talk about food and such, and we got to see just kind of browse again where everything's going to be and where the after hours party is going to be, and it made it all that much more real and exciting. So like now that it's a go, it's greenlit. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah, and Michele and I both had the impression that we thought that certain areas were smaller than they were. So going back to it this time, we're like, oh, okay.
Relief.
We left and we were like, okay, that room's a lot bigger than we thought it was. We're gonna have a lot more space here. We're gonna be able to do this. So I think it's all gonna fall into place. I'm talking to a couple of different agents right now.
You're talking to everybody right now.
Booking our stuff. I'm working with the different companies to help with the vendors. I'm working with a company for the professional photo ops. Come out when that's ready. I'm talking to just everybody possible, ticketing, everything to get everything in place, and it's a lot of work. So I do apologize for the delay, but it is a lot of work to get it all ready to go. Usually we have all that ready, and then we make the announcement the expo's coming. Well, we kind of flipped it, and we announced the expo, and we weren't ready with the site and all that. But we're getting there, and it's getting really close. So
we did it because it's already January, and we wanted to put out a save the date so that people know that it's coming and that you plan ahead for that weekend.
Yes. So more information will be coming on that when we do have the site ready. I know Michele will put that everywhere on our social channels.
You know it.
And you guys are going to see a lot about it for the next few months. But we really want to make this the best House of Mouse Expo yet. We're so excited to be on Disney property. I
Mhm.
mean, it is truly, this is part of the dream coming true. To have it there. The hotel is fantastic. Where the party's going to be, it's going to be outside. And they already have a contingency plan that if it rains at night, they already have a backup spot for us to take the party indoors.
Indoors. Mhm.
So the party will not be ruined no matter what. Again, the party is going to be a limited ticket event. So when those tickets do go on sale, you're not going to want to miss out. You're going to want to get those right away. We're going to have all kinds of stuff coming. So just hope you guys are excited about it as we are. And I'm going to try to put in the best show I've ever done.
Save the date.
Save the date.
July 31st through August 2nd at the Wyndham at Disney Springs.
Yes.
So mark that down because you're going to want to come and hang out with us.
Yes, and just in case you're curious, if you're at Disney Springs and you want to go over to the Wyndham to check out our event, the pedestrian bridge right by Earl of Sandwich. When you get off on the other side of the road, you are right by the Wyndham.
Bam, there.
Yeah, you're there. So, it saves the people. So if you, like I said, if you happen to go to the Springs that day and we know our event's going on, you can come on over the pedestrian bridge and check it out and see what's going on over there. Having watched the Disney Handcrafted, Michele came up with a good talking point, though, to talk about now. And I don't think by talking about this, we're going to give any spoilers to the documentary. But we were going to talk about how they built Disneyland so quickly in less than a year's time. They started clearing the land till they opened the gates and Walt gave his speech. And then today it took like 5 years to build Tron. And granted, Tron was built around COVID. And I know there was lots of things. But it was one ride.
Even so.
Well, if you go back to Mine Train, I think it took 3 years to build Mine Train.
Yeah. So at one point, again, no spoilers, but at one point, they show 6 months till opening, 3 months till opening, 1 month till opening, and how you are thinking to yourself, there is no way they are going to have this park done by July. And even a couple weeks out, it still looked like a whole lot of dirt.
It did. They were building like you see them building like the Mickey in front of the train station that's on the green there.
Yeah. It looked like there was no way it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But these guys with no power tools and
they were hand sawing wood and they were.
Oh my gosh, it was just crazy the craftsmanship that went into this and how quickly they got it done and this crew.
I was amazed most about how they did the painting though, because like now when they build a ride and they have to paint the coasters or the cars or anything like that,
Spray painters,
big spray painter. These people are sitting there with a small little brush and a can of paint,
hand doing it,
and mixing the color too.
Yes,
they didn't go down to the Home Depot and say I need red in this shade.
Same with the cement; they were coloring cement to put down. Yes. I thought that was really cool.
That was very cool.
So a couple people, because people just say what they want on the internet.
Right.
And there are times I agree with what they're saying, snark or not. I do agree with them.
Okay.
And a few people mentioned Tron to me because it seemed like Tron took years.
For a short ride.
For a very short ride. And so people were wondering, comparison, I guess you could say. So look how long it took to build Mission Breakout.
Right.
The Guardians ride. Now the Guardians ride is, in fairness, okay, I got to see the construction.
Right.
Inside Guardians before the tracks were even completely done.
Yeah, you saw how big that building was.
I did. And to know, like, there's a certain part in that ride where you go through this, your cart goes through this one area. It kind of looks like a fireball or.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I stood under there from the ground and looked up, and you could see like a partial track going through that.
Right.
And then you look way, way up, and you could see where they were, like the loading area was going to be. And obviously, when you ride it now, it's dark. And I'm sitting here in my head as I'm talking, trying to think about what I saw then as opposed to what the ride is now, and how much work went into that ride. Okay, a whole lot.
And that was a ride that it was Ellen's Universe of Energy, so they had to cut that part out.
Yep.
And then they had to build a new ride building to house the track because Ellen's obviously didn't have a roller coaster track where Guardians
No, because Ellen's was flat.
Yeah, it was
pretty much.
Flat
If you think
road,
you think about that, if you go back to how that ride looked, but even in Ellen's, it was a very long ride,
yes.
and it covered a lot of
Massive
space.
building.
Yes, so you could. you can see like the amount of space that it took. So yeah, it did take some time to do that.
Right.
But still, these people with no power tools
Right, they're
built
used,
Disneyland
exactly,
in a year.
exactly. I saw there's the one scene where you see a guy, he's working on something, building something, and he's hand sawing the wood to build it. And I'm like, and then it hit me, it's like, oh my gosh, they had to do that for everything because they didn't have power tools to cut this wood.
No, they said each piece of wood had to be precisely the same length. You could not go over or under.
Right.
And they had to measure everything out. They had to
No laser cutting. It was all done by
and like no checking like computer graphics ahead of time. It was all just whatever was on that blueprint or whatever was in Walt's head, and he said, "Hey, this is what I want. I want to train over here. I want to ride here. I want,
crazy.
There was a spot where they showed where the Jungle Cruise was going to be.
Yes, Harper Goff was in charge of that.
And you look and you go, oh my God, it's dirt. But you could kind of see how they were going to plan it, but still.
So that's one that I liked in the Imagineering story when they showed the building of Disneyland, because you see Harper Goff is in like a station wagon and he's driving the track of what the boats are going to go down before there was any water or anything there.
Yeah.
But he had the track, and he wanted to make sure that he could swerve in and out and get the track of what the Jungle Cruise was going to be. And it's just absolutely, it blows me away that these guys, nowadays we think, well, we'll get the computers to do that, and we got the we got the big dirt movers that are coming here and they'll dig out this whole area for us quickly, and we can plant trees like super fast and get all that done, and landscaping, it's all easy. I mean, and it's not easy, but compared to what they did to build Disneyland, it's so much easier now.
Yeah, so it just made me wonder as far as discussion wise. And okay, we're not going to know the answers. I'm just going to throw you guys out there. We're just kind of spitballing back and forth.
Right, something to talk about.
And there could be a very good reason for it. We just don't know. But I just found it very interesting that Tron kept coming up because for a while there, Tron was kind of the butt of the joke.
It was.
Because people are like, what is taking so long? Because it took forever.
Well, the one thing I never understood about Tron existed in Shanghai already.
Yeah, it was already overseas.
So, and they say it's pretty much a duplicate.
Right.
So it's like, you know how big the tracks are. You know how big I know they had to make the
cut and paste,
a little bit bigger. But yeah, it's basically a cut. It's like when you go into these neighborhoods and every house is cookie cutter house. Tron was really a cookie cutter ride for the most part.
It was. And we're not Imagineers, and we're not claiming to be. And we're not claiming to know things. But after seeing this documentary and hearing people's feedback across the internet as far as what they thought, people could not understand. And I think that it would be interesting for somebody to explain it. Why back then with just manpower and just saws and hammers and paint buckets that they could build a whole park in a year. And Walt was not bending on that year mark. It was going to be July because Walt said it was going to be July 17th.
And I think he had deals with ABC also that date, because ABC did help finance the building before Walt Disney Company owned ABC. They helped finance it, and I think they had it has to be done by this date also.
But they did say they could probably bump it to September without any repercussions.
Right, somebody would let them go because the park would be. And I'm not saying Disneyland opened up perfect, because we all know.
Oh no, we know that.
And I think that would be a good documentary, because everybody's always heard these rumors about after Disneyland opened and there was problems with this and there was problems with that.
And the plumbing.
And they confirmed that one during the documentary. About
did.
At one point they were told they could either have
toilets or drinking water.
Drinking water, and they said, and Walt made the decision. Well, we'll have toilets because they can always buy Coke or Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly. Like we need toilets more than we need that kind of thing.
But that was just, to me, that's absolutely amazing. And they had so many things happen wrong, but the park still opened that day.
They still made it. So what's the deal with deadlines today? Because it seems as though like nowadays they do like roundabouts, like coming in 2026, coming in 2027. I mean, look what they're doing over at Magic Kingdom.
Right.
Look what they're doing over at
Animal Kingdom.
At poor bless your heart Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
And you see dirt hills and such. Now they're just building a land. Now, you know what? If the people that built Disneyland were still alive today, could they get that land over at Animal Kingdom done quicker?
Well, here's something to think about. So a few years ago at D23, they announced that Spaceship Earth was getting a complete refurb.
Oh yeah.
And it was going to take 3 years.
Yes.
It only took a year to build Spaceship Earth. So why does it take, if you're still going to keep the same building, if you're just going to take apart the
Right.
track and rebuild it, why did it take a year to build it originally? And granted, it's probably easier to put the track in without the whole.
But if you're just refurbing it,
But if you're refurbing it, you're going to keep the track the same, and you're just fixing all the the scenes throughout the. Why is it going to take 3 times the length of time? And I think a lot of it has to do with unions. I think a lot of it has to do with permits.
yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with OSHA and making sure that everybody is safe every step of the way. To make
Right.
sure. And granted, those things are needed.
But back then, if you watch the documentary, you will see that people did not take safety precautions. Let's just leave it at that.
No, yeah, and you will. That will be the most amazing part of the whole
You're gonna
documentary.
go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because when you really start watching that, because I didn't really pay attention to it at first,
I did.
and then I started seeing it more and more, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these people, why would they just, and they do it nonchalantly like it's no
Totally
big deal.
nonchalantly, and all this work they're doing, the vast majority of them have a cigarette hanging out of their mouth. It just like it was so very much like I'm just gonna, I'm gonna create a bunch of beams the same, I'm gonna this and that, and just gotta, it's a permanent smoke break. They always had a
While
cigarette.
I'm cementing the side of the
Yes,
castle.
yes, they're smoking, and it's just crazy to see, but. I just wonder, like, what's the difference? And I would love to know, like, why. I think that would be fascinating if Disney Plus did a documentary like that, like then versus now.
Right.
Like what it took to build, what they needed to do back then as opposed to what needs to be done today.
Yeah.
And what's the deal? What's the holdup?
One thing, this really doesn't ruin anything in the documentary, but there was one scene where you see a big machine it's pushing dirt up a hill. There's like a big tractor is pushing dirt up this hill. There was another tractor behind it to keep it from flipping backwards as it's going forward. So it's like nowadays that would never happen.
No.
They would just use a different machine to move the dirt. But back then, they literally had to have one tractor to do the work and another tractor to keep that tractor from falling.
They just used whatever
means they had.
Yeah, whatever means they had. And it's like...
Can you imagine they'll just look at it and go, well, we got to move that dirt, but if that thing flips, we're in trouble, so let's get another tractor behind it.
Another tractor to spot this one, just in case that this is going to flip. But, yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Not that we have much of a point here, but it was like the fact that people brought up, like, current projects.
Right.
And as opposed to then, it just makes you wonder. I guess the whole point of this discussion is,
Things that make you go,
Yeah, like why?
Yeah.
Why is it like that? And I would hope, being that we're not the only ones who wondered this,
right?
If Disney could do something like that, you got to remember too that, like with the Imagineering story and all these different things that showed us how they've made rides and attractions and all these cool things. If, like a then versus now versus then, whichever, to see like the differences.
Yeah, I mean, if you had all the regulations and rules and all that stuff then that you have today, how long would it have taken to build the full Disneyland park from beginning to end?
Yeah, they just kind of like, here's a big open pile of dirt and land. Have at it.
And that's that was one of the opening shots is you actually see that big piece of land where there's a
was
couple little houses
nothing.
sitting on it.
It was nothing, you guys. It was just a big like field of nothing. And you just look like, okay, they're going to build a theme park here in a year.
I know.
And they did.
You
so,
could build a subdivision of houses there.
No, you can't. And granted, subdivisions go up pretty quickly around here.
They do go up quick here.
But they
quick.
they built Disneyland. So yeah, it's just something to think about. So if you guys like when you watch it, you'll understand what we mean.
And send us comments and questions about what you took from
what did you think?
And we'll share those here on the air with other people to hear what you guys have to say about the documentary. Because I honestly, I thought the documentary was fantastic. I think it gives us an insight that we would have never had any other way. I think you're going to be blown away with how they did things.
Crazy.
Yeah,
and maybe some of you might know the answers to what we're wondering.
And those are the stories you hear like your grandparents talk about. Like I remember when we built Disneyland, and so after we're watching the movie, we're standing in the hallway, and I was talking to Lou. And Lou said to me, he goes, you know what's cool is there's going to be somebody who's going to watch this documentary and they're going to go, that's my grandfather. Or or that's my uncle, or that's somebody in their family who was in some of this video footage of building that park.
Yeah.
That they may have never seen those videos or photos even of them doing the work. But now thanks to Leslie and her team, they get to see that.
And they did it pretty quickly. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, definitely worth seeing. So, so I do have a question for you this week. Another question was sent in
Okay.
by a friend of ours.
Okay.
Do you want to guess which friend?
I don't.
Is our friend in Texas.
Oh, Fernando.
Fernando sent in a question.
Hi, Fernando.
Hi, Fernando. So Fernando asked,
Oh boy.
in March, a group from his work are going to the Orlando area near Disney World for meetings.
Okay.
He said we will be able to stay a couple of extra days for those who want to go to the parks.
Mm-hmm.
In case some people don't want to go to the parks, which he said is outrageous, he knows.
What?
Where would be a good spot to take a group picture that would still capture the Disney experience without the expense of a ticket? Would it be Disney Springs? Would it be a resort? Where would you recommend they go as a group to do something like that?
Okay, I got it. I would say go to the Contemporary Resort and go on the little viewing patio on the level where the store is.
But how would you get? Well, you'd have to get a reservation to get in there if they're not staying on property.
No, you can park at the Magic Kingdom and
They gotta
take the
pay for
monorail over. Look, somebody's gotta have.
I'm
park.
just saying, he's saying to where without.
You
the
didn't
expense of a
say it had
ticket.
to. No, you said without the expense of a ticket.
Okay.
It's way. So if there's a whole group of you and you're going.
Actually, park at the Springs and you get on the bus that goes to Magic.
There you go. There you go. There are ways to be cheap about it.
Yeah.
Because if you go to the Contemporary, you can get some great photos because Magic Kingdom is right there in the background.
Yep. And go at the right time of the night, and you can get it with the fireworks going off.
There also are nice views over at the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian, but for some reason, I know people like the Grand Floridian. I really like the Contemporary, and I like the because they have the viewing,
Right.
and you can watch fireworks from the side there.
Yeah.
And I know, I know what it used to be, but I don't know what it is now. I remember there were times that you could go up to the viewing deck, right next to California Grill,
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh,
there was
yeah.
a little bar there.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if you can just go up and have a glass of wine and use the deck. I don't know how that works.
I don't know if you need a
anymore.
reservation to get that.
No idea.
I do remember years ago, we took your parents, we took them to Trails End for dinner.
Yep.
But we stopped in front of the Magic Kingdom without going into the park.
Yep.
And we watched fireworks from outside the train station area.
Yes, we did.
It was Halloween night, actually. 'cause we
Yes,
got to
it
see
was.
Halloween
It was the
fireworks.
Halloween fireworks, and that would be another good spot. I mean, if you're already at the Contemporary, you can take the monorail
Or walk
loop.
over if you
Yeah.
want to. Yeah.
But the monorail loop, this is my answer.
Sorry.
Let me answer. The monorail loop itself, each spot is going to give you good photo spots.
For sure.
But in front of Magic Kingdom, yeah, you can stand outside of Magic Kingdom and you don't have to go in, but you still kind of, it's like you're there, but you're not going in.
True. Very true.
Also, I really like, okay, he asked for one spot. I'm just going to be quiet because I could give you a ton, but
No,
I'm
you
going
can
to
give
say
multiple spots.
monorail loop.
Monorail Loop's a good one. Another one I thought of, which is way out there, would cause a lot of work to do it. But if you really wanted to do it, you could actually, if you're at Magic Kingdom, hop on the monorail to Epcot, and you could do pictures from Epcot as well. Because you actually will go through the park, and then when you exit, you're not in the park when you get off the monorail, but you would actually take the little route. So if there's people who he's coming with who have never been inside Epcot, it would be a way for them to see inside.
Well, you can see inside there, but there's really nothing.
There's no really picture-esque.
Well, if you go to the back where the Skyliner is, you can see Paris on that
That's
side
true.
of the France Pavilion.
If you can get on the Skyliner, you can do that whole route.
Oh yeah. See, we're giving you multiple ideas. Because I know when my friend Paula was here last, we took a Skyliner ride.
Right.
And we did that with my parents years and years ago. And that was really enjoyable because you could see a lot of the property that Disney has.
Right.
Some of the hotels, you can go hotel hopping. You can go, you can see from a bird's eye view of what the resorts like Caribbean Beach looks like. Plus the boardwalk.
Yes.
A Skyliner ride would be my second opinion
Mm-hmm.
next to the monorail loop. Don't go to Disney Springs. I mean, there's really nothing over there. I mean, there's shopping and there's things to eat, but if you're looking for a scenic location,
Disney-esque.
yeah, because I mean, I'm not ripping on Disney Springs whatsoever, but
I
I
love
think
Disney.
for photo shoots,
Yeah.
you got better options: monorail loop or the Skyliner loop, and pick a spot.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the boardwalk, but yeah, you could do the Skyliner because you can go to the boardwalk and just say you're going to the boardwalk, park over that way, and then you could take the Skyliner loop, and you could actually then go to Art of Animation. You can go to Pop Century. Art of Animation has some great photo spots.
Heck yeah, with
on their
those.
buildings.
I know you love it back where it looks like Cars Land back
Yes.
there. Yeah. So monorail loop or Skyliner
Or both.
or both.
Take a day and do both.
I mean, it depends how much time you got with said group of people.
You just tell them we're going,
We're going. We're gonna park here and we're gonna take Disney transportation.
and you'll be fine.
I hope that helps.
And if not, we're sorry.
If not, I apologize.
So thank you so much, Fernando, for sending in the question. If you have a question you'd like me to ask Michele on the air, you could email me, scott@themainstreetmouse.com, and I will ask her here on the air. And again, she has no idea what the questions are ahead of time, so it's kind of like I throw her under the bus, so to speak, to give me an answer on what you guys are looking for, because she doesn't really have time to think about it. It's kind of off the top of her head with this. And also, we have had Fernando sent in questions, and so is Sean, for you to ask me on air. So you can email Michele@themainstreetmouse.com, and she will ask me the question. That's Michele with 1 L, not 2, or your email won't go through. On Thursdays, Michelle's Daydream Believing podcast comes out. Every Thursday, we try to do it around 7, sometimes a little bit after 7, sometimes a little bit before, but it's
It's a
around
good
that time. But if you subscribe to her Daydream Believing podcast, you'll get notified on your podcasting app and when her new show drops. And if you have a question, comment, or show suggestion,
Show suggestion.
email her again, Michele@themainstreetmouse.com, and she will either read your question on air, she will talk about your suggestion, or just
talk to me because I like
talk
that.
to her. She likes to have somebody to talk to. So
Yeah.
talk to her. I'm going to run through our sponsors really quick. Our official travel partner of the Main Street Mouse is MEI Mouse Fan Travel. They are the best in what they do. The customer service level is absolutely amazing. Becky and her team just do a phenomenal job. If you see any of their banners on our site, and right now they are still running some great deals for Walt Disney World, so check those out if you have any interest in coming here anytime in the next few months. There's some really good deals going on that you want to take advantage of. Click any of those banners, fill out a small form. One of their travel advisors will get back to you, and they will help you plan the perfect vacation. Best part of it all, it is free for you. It doesn't cost you anything to use their services. Our official transportation partner of the Main Street Mouse is the Genie Transportation Services. They will pick you up at the airport. They will take you to the port. They will take you to Walt Disney World. They take you to Universal. They'll just pick you up at your hotel, take you for a night out in Orlando. Whatever you want to do, their services are great, and they take the worry about you driving around and doing things off your plate, and they take care of it all in a safe environment for you. You can reach them at thegenieorlando.com. And last but definitely not least, our official stroller scooter partner of the Main Street Mouse is Kingdom Strollers. They can help you with any rental, either stroller, scooter, or they do have some other items that you can rent. They will deliver the item to wherever you're staying. They will pick it up at the end of your trip, and they are just phenomenal. If you need their help any time of day or night, they are available. Just give them a call, and they will help you out. You can reach them at kingdomstrollers.com. Any one of these, please let them know you heard about them on the Main Street Mouse, because supporting our sponsors helps support us, and we greatly appreciate that that you guys support them. That's all I have to say. I'm going to let Michele close us out. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Okay, well, thank you guys. We, like Scott just said, we appreciate your support. We couldn't do any of this without you. Don't forget to follow the Main Street Mouse on all our socials, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and YouTube. Okay, YouTube too, even though we're really bad about keeping it up, but we do have it. And you can go to TMSM Emporium for some really cool things that Scott is working on. And Lost Princess Apparel. Don't forget about that. And on that note, I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, magical week ahead. And we will see you real soon.
Our trip around the Magic Kingdom is almost complete. I can't thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. And I hope you've enjoyed your journey as much as I've appreciated being a part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please gather your belongings. Watch your head and step as you exit. And take small children by the hand.
On behalf of our entire flight crew, thanks for soaring with us.
Now I will raise the safety bar, and a ghost will follow you home.
Some imagination, huh?